Hello and welcome once again to Ignite Your Impact. My name is Jen Rhodes. I am riding passenger to Mr. Matt Rhodes.
Good morning.
Driving the vessel. Yeah. If you caught our last podcast, that'll make perfect sense.
That's a little throwback.
And if you don't, now you've got scrubs going on in your head. All right. So if you haven't figured out the title of the show, that's okay. The title for today, the topic for today, no participation trophies.
Yeah, no participation trophies in two very important areas of your life. And I'm going to get into those two areas here in just a minute, but it's not all just about those two areas. And that's, Jen and I were very careful when we started on this podcast because we want to talk about a lot of different things. We didn't want to be restricted just to fitness. We wanted to talk about fitness. We wanted to talk about mindset, finances, relationships. We wanted to go over all that, and we just didn't want to strictly be tied to fitness. But we're going to talk about two important ones today and not go through all of them.
Yeah. I remember that time, we were in pre-production for months, and we were very intentional about what we wanted to talk about, but we wanted to keep it pretty broad still. I mean, is this a fitness podcast? No. Is this a relationship podcast? No. But we wanted to incorporate all those things because they all correlate and they all affect each other. And frankly, because we've failed at all of them, some miserably, and we've succeeded at all of them. And we have a lot of training in all of these different subjects. So we wanted to be able to share what we know experientially and through our training, just because we're still growing in all of them.
Yeah, and now that we say that, we mentioned all those different verticals. There's really no participation trophies in any of them. But some of them are gray, relationships, mindset can be a little bit of gray area. But the two that we're going to talk about today, there is no gray area. It's black and white. It's fitness and finances. You open up your checking account, and it's either there or it's not. You go to the bathroom, you take your shirt off, you look in the mirror, it's either there or it's not. And I know everyone has done one or both of these this week. Probably done both of them today. You probably opened up your checking account and looked to see what was there. You probably went to the bathroom, took your shirt off to see if it was there or it wasn't.
First of all, girls call them tops. But ours are there.
Very, very good point.
Mine were there.
From a male standpoint of view, that's what we do.
But I understand what you're saying. I want to give it another layer of context.
Yeah, please do.
I'm like, first of all, we call them tops. But I want you to think about, instead of just taking your shirt off, it's either there or it's not. How much time in your day are you devoting to this thing, this problem that you're trying to solve with fitness? How many minutes are you letting it take up space in your brain when you take your shirt off or your top? Maybe when you open the fridge, getting ready for meals. Maybe when you bend over to tie your shoes, or maybe when you unbutton your pants to go to the bathroom. How many times a day do you go to the bathroom and you have to touch your pants and you think,
that's a good point.
It's either there or it's not.
Yeah. And you can work your ass off in business or in the gym, but with the wrong tactics, you're just not going to get the results, which is what this whole podcast is about today. You're participating to get a participation trophy, but not the real win. We want to give the tactics today. We're going to go through those because we want to save you some time. We want to save you some energy, and we definitely want to save you some effort. And I want to be clear, this message is not for everyone. It's for a very specific person. It may be you. So keep listening.
Yeah. And it may be for the person that may not know it's them.
Yep.
We're going to get pretty detailed. So if you've been following us for a moment, you know that we've been traveling a ton lately. I was in Chicago installing the Phoenix Method programming into another successful club. I am so excited to work with you guys. Just so you know, we are going to crush it. We are going to change so many lives. Oh my God. Then went straight to Tempe for our franchises convention, home for a few days, and then straight to a hotel for 2 weeks in Kansas City while we had our floors redone in our home. And our entire family was with us for those 2 weeks in the hotel. And in the middle of all that, Matt had 2 different business trips and then one last week as well.
Yeah.
I think.
So we saw it all.
There's been a lot of hotels, and I'm kind of over it.
we saw a lot of humanity during all this traveling. We saw everything. We saw the golf buddies all pile in on the weekend into Tempe, Arizona, all drunk and sunburnt. And then we saw all the families show up for vacation. And then when we came back to Kansas City, we saw all the business dudes roll in on Monday and hit the hotel bar. And
there was ladies too.
No, there were no ladies.
No.
They all hit the bar. They were there till Friday. And then Friday we saw the families that were in town for tournaments roll into the hotel. And then they were there all weekend. And then they went out on Sunday. Everyone in these areas had something in common. They weren't even going after the participation trophy. It's like they had given up. It was crazy to see everyone had given up on not just fitness, but it almost seemed like life. Now, not that there's anything wrong with going to tournaments and hanging out at pools. I enjoyed doing that with our kids. But it was weird to see how there was just nothing there. Fitness was terrible.
I think you hit the nail on the head with a couple of different things. First of all, you nailed it with the golf buddies. Oh my God. Puffy and miserable. So drunken sunburnt sounds just much more kind. So we're going to use your words.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
Total side story. We happened to see one of those drunken sunburnt.
Oh my God, I was hoping you'd bring that up.
We happened to see one of those that groups of drunken sunburnt guys, and they got on our plane.
Hat turned backwards. No offense. I love you.
And I'm not going to tell the whole story because it's a little bit long, but I got to witness him getting escorted off the plane. I was right there when he got into it with the
flight attendant.
The flight attendant, and I was going to the bathroom. I ran my ass back to my seat. I didn't want to be involved in that. Yeah, we landed, and that sunburnt drunk golf guy got hauled off the plane before everyone else could get off, and there he goes.
Everyone else behaved the rest of the flight.
Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah,
You're good.
When he said that, I was like, yeah, I forgot about that.
I was hoping you would bring it up because I was like, I saw someone get kicked off our flight. Yeah. We're like texting our kids and like, they're like, record it. I'm like, nah, I'm not that. I don't care that much. But just the air of people just giving up. Another visual. The hotel pool. You mentioned it earlier. We used to do that with our kids when they went to tournaments. We went from swim tournaments to the pool to let everybody work out all their energy. It made no sense. I know. The pool to the pool. But imagine 10 to 15, 8 to 10-year-olds in that pool screaming, running, all the things. I'm sure there was pizza. There was probably boogers everywhere. And just imagine 15 to 20 parents sitting around the periphery of the pool with their coolers, just kind of staring off into space, waiting for the kids to just wear themselves out. Literally have given up.
Yeah, and I think any parent's been in that situation, but it just was crazy to see. It was just crazy to see how bad it really was.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're one of those people, this message is only for you if you say, I'm ready for some changes. If you say to yourself, I know there's more to life, but life has kind of gotten in the way, and I want you to listen in. This podcast isn't directed towards the group of people we saw traveling. But if you're saying those things in your head and you're one of those people, still listen in. You're going to get something from it.
Like I said in the beginning, we've sucked at all these categories, guys. We were there. We were those parents that were looking off into the periphery like, kill me now. And we had somebody wake us up. So if this is a wake-up call for you, just know we're going to hopefully deliver this with some love. But I want to be super honest here. This message is really for the people that are killing it in the gym. I want to have your ears and eyes. Or maybe you've killed it in the gym. You know, you've lost maybe 10, maybe 20 pounds and you've put it back on. Or let's say you've been doing this for a really long time and you're just not seeing consistent results. You're participating, but you haven't got the result. Today is for you. And we're not shaming either category. Some people are perfectly happy in their complacency. That's fine. Those people have already turned off this podcast. They're like, screw this bitch. But to the ones that have been participating, I see you. I'm proud of you. You are doing more than 90% of the population. You are lapping the people on the couch. But this thing is still frustrating you. I need you to know that this is not your fault. You are putting in the work. You've just been fed too many different options. Now, some work and some don't. And it is confusing. I used to be there.
Yeah, it's not their fault because, they haven't put in the thousands and thousands of hours that we put in to understand how to manipulate the body, or any really good coach. Or they have said, yeah, I'm going to hire someone, or they're doing something, but they're looking to someone who doesn't have the receipts to prove it, which is a throwback to another one of our podcasts. You got to go back and listen to that one as well.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. So, we've mentioned some programs do and some don't work, and you may be doing certain tactics, but you're not getting the result, which is where the participation trophy comes from. You're participating, you're getting participation trophy, but you're not getting results.
I'm checking the boxes.
And one of those, and I don't want to crush on any programs, but this one has popped up. I just talked to another guy about this, is 75 Hard, because this program can work. This is a great example of a program that can work. But here's what we've seen time and time again with programs or types of programs that are similar to this, not necessarily this one as well. But with this 75 Hard or other programs like it, it's the all or nothing mentality. That mentality can work. It can for 75 days. But can you do it the rest of your life? And here's the thing. I really don't want to prove how mentally tough I am.
I feel like we've already proven how mentally tough we are as a human race.
There's no reason to do it. It's crazy. On top of that, if I have a drink, or if it's really hot outside right now and I don't want to do my second workout, I have to start all over at the beginning. I mean, that's ridiculous. One little thing and you start all over. That is not a healthy way to attack any goal. Again, preface, I'm not shitting on it. It can work. It's just not the smoothest, easiest, most efficient ride to the same destination. That's the problem with it.
I think that goes for any program that's super restrictive.
Yep.
I mean, think about finances too. Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
Yeah, I don't.
Let's stick with the fitness.
Jeez, right? I'm going to just yuck everyone's yum today. But if you think about it, anything that's super restrictive like that, only a Sith deals in absolutes. There. Now I'm cool again. But the low carb, the no sugar, the no alcohol, no carrots. What? I'm dead serious.
I know.
I did 3 onboardings. They're like, no, I'm not going to eat carrots, and bananas are out. I'm like, but that's stupid. Stop it. Stop it.
Goes back to they've been fed the wrong thing.
That's the thing. The list goes on and on. Yes. Once you decide you want to fix it, you cut everything out. Why? Well, because it worked before, but it came back. So maybe it didn't work before.
Yeah.
The list can go on. I can share the most ridiculous shit I've heard and said. I'm not exempt from this, guys. I'm ridiculous too. Anything that is giving up something does not ever get to the root of the problem or give you a practical solution. Practical, logical. That's what I'm looking for. So I go back to the person that has lost some weight and maybe you've put it back on, or the person that's just grinding their face off in the gym and they're eating like 2 salads a day, but you don't have those long-term results. Maybe it's time to change some tactics. Maybe it's time to add just one missing piece. And I'll get to that root problem shortly, but here are the tactics that work. And I promise you, if you're one of my clients, get ready. We're going to say it in unison because every single one of my success stories, I'll interview them. Like, what did you do? And they name these 5 things. There's no tricks. There's no pills. There's no shortcuts. There's nothing. There's no hacks. Number 1, progressive overload weight training. What does that mean? You see something heavy, you pick it up 6 to 8 times, you put it back down, and you rest. Progressive overload. The next week, try for something a little bit heavier. Whatever that means to you, great. But that's progressive overload weight training. The goal is to constantly challenge your body to increase what you're lifting.
Interject there. Most people are not lifting as hard as they think they are.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you should be failing when you're talking about progressive overloading. You should not be failing, but you should be, by the time, if you're doing a set of 10, you should be.
Let me give you a way to explain it.
Yes.
And I've told most of my females that were terrified to lift. I want you to lift to where you want to slap me on the last rep.
Yeah. That's a good way.
That's failure.
Yeah.
But you can still lift it, and you can't raise your arms to slap me. Yes, Cheryl, that's for you. Number 1, progressive overload weightlifting. No hit, no jumping, no running. We're building muscle, we're burning fat. That's it. Number 2, balanced mix of protein, carbs, and fat. What's the key word, Matt?
Balanced.
One more time.
Balanced.
Thank you.
Because I can guarantee it, you are not balanced right now. Unless you're in a good fitness program and you're in shape, because I would tell you 99 out of 100 people that we work with, they're not eating enough food. They're just not getting enough protein.
Yeah. The beauty of fixing protein for people is once you can fix that one piece and their metabolism wakes back up, they immediately start lifting more. They immediately start sleeping better. They immediately get hungry. It's like, oh my God, it's crazy. But you also need to kind of go through phases, right? Like there's going to be some phases in the beginning where you're going to want to mix things up. You're going to want to try some new things to see what fits with you. The best part about working with a coach is we're going to know those different phases that we can kind of play with to manipulate your body to see what works faster so that we can get you to that visual result that you're seeking. And we can figure out how quickly your body can respond so that at any given moment of your year, you can be beach ready in 4 to 6 weeks. I always talk with my women, just keep lifting and keep your protein year round. No matter what state you get to me, if you do those 2 things, 4 to 6 weeks. I have 3 right now that finished a cut. They were like, that was the easiest part of my life. I'm like, I know, right? Because you did the foundation. And then all you did additional was just keep the foundation strong. No matter how much bread pudding you threw on top of it. Somebody's like, I did a dirty bulk. I'm like, great. This is still going to be easy. The foundation's still there. Progressive overload weight training. Balanced mix of protein, carbs, and fats. Not low carb, not no carb, not keto. Balance. 10,000 steps a day. If you're following me on Instagram, I'm going through my day and showing you different ways to get steps other than just mindlessly stepping. Ooh, we could do like a video on Running Man. Those are steps. But yesterday I got over 13,000 steps. 4,000 of them were in like an hour and a half laying mulch in my yard. I wasn't moving my legs. I was moving. I was walking around the yard, but I wasn't doing much. Get your steps. Water. Oh my God, water. You just did it. Ready?
Yes.
Shout out to Hydro Jug. Hashtag drink your water. You need so much water. Your body is 70% water. Plus, if you have to pee, you get steps. Sleep. I usually get 8 hours of sleep, maybe twice a week. I want 8 hours every single night. There's reasons for all of this. And the beauty of this, these are things that are not hard. Yes, they take effort and consistency. But what we're going for with our programming is long-term. I want to fix this forever, not the short-term fix. I don't want to see you 6 weeks after you've hit your goal because you gained it all back. I don't want that. I want you fixed and gone. No. fixed and happy. We want to eliminate this problem once and for all. And the only way you can do that is through something that you can sustain forever.
Yeah, but let's jump back into the problem that you mentioned.
Yes.
So, because this is key. And I can get into so many different areas that we would work with clients or that you can do. But I think I just want to give the cliff notes so that anyone can do this. Yes, you listening, you can do this as well. You have to figure out what that person looks like, what it feels like, that person that you want to be, that person that you're in the gym trying to get to. When you have that vision in your head, you think about it every single day. Not just sometimes, which is why we put processes in place to keep this in our clients' minds. Because this is what we're digging into right now is the real problem, not the tactics, but the real problem. When you get that person in your mind, what do they do? What do they don't do? And when they make small changes, what does that look like? Not knee-jerk changes, but small progress every single day. Some days are going to be perfect. Some days are not. But you don't just start all over. You learn. You learn from those things. And then one day you turn around, you've effortlessly lost 5 pounds. And you're like, man, that wasn't so difficult. And I know what you're thinking. I've done this before. And then that weight came back. But this time you're talking about goals. You're thinking about that future self that I just said, who that person is. Can you envision them? This is very different than a goal of wanting to lose 20 pounds. See, that's an away from goal, wanting to lose 20 pounds. We're setting towards goals so your mind can take over. This is the key above the tactics. These are the things you do above the tactics to make this long term. Maybe you even have a picture of someone that you want to look like, a star, or someone in the movies with the body that you want, and you look at that daily. There's lots of different things you can do. Again, I'm giving you the Cliff Notes version because you can do this at home by yourself, just thinking about that person, picturing your face and what you want to look like. And once you've done that, you've lost that 5 pounds. All of a sudden you're like, man, this worked. It wasn't so difficult. And now some of your decisions change. Again, small decisions, not knee-jerk reactions to get this done in a quick amount of time. Your routine starts to get a little bit different. And before you know it, you start noticing other things have changed. Your environment's changed. Who you're around and what you actually like to do. Maybe it's not staying out so late on the weekends. All of a sudden you're like, wow, I enjoy my sleep. I enjoy looking and feeling good. This whole process then starts to become clear once you start working on the problem. And people start seeing the changes in you. Not just in your body, but who you are. The great thing about this is your unconscious mind starts to wake up. And it starts to take over. And it makes it so this is something you can do for the rest of your life. But this process doesn't take forever. It could just take a few months.
Yes,
But that's the root of the problem.
That is.
You've tried all these different tactics and these different things. Now you get the right tactics, and then you put on top of that future vision self.
Yeah. I'm thinking of a few people in our world that have started applying these tactics. And if you have caught on that this is you, just know that I'm so fucking proud of you. But this is a piece that makes a lifelong change by fixing the real problem. The real problem is not eating the dessert or having a cheat meal. The real problem isn't having a drink or a guy's night out or a girl's night out or a Taco Tuesday. The real problem is how you identify who you are. If you've ever used the words, I'm a shit show, I am talking to you. I hope we've got through. The solution is to build that vision that you want so bad in your conscious and your unconscious mind. See, fitness and finances aren't only the important verticals in life, but they can certainly help or hurt the other areas of your life.
Yeah, I'll go back to what I said earlier is you can work your ass off in the gym or in business, but if you're using the wrong tactics, you don't get results. So let's stop going after the participation trophies. Let's start using the right tactics to achieve the desired results and get after it today.
I love that. That's just a huge dose of hell yeah. Guys, I hope this hit for you. If it did, feel free to message us. Share it with somebody you love. Share it with somebody that may need to hear it. Tag us in your Insta stories. Give us a 5-star review. Check us out on YouTube. Do all the things. If anything, we'll catch you next time.